This is Create the Next from ProCFO Partners, where every week we explore strategies and ideas for financial management and growth to help today's businesses put their financial picture in context.
Welcome back to Create the Next. I'm Chris Bentliff, and Haleh Fardi joins us today. She is the Chief Visionary Officer. She's a co-founder of ProCFO Partners. She's my friend. She's a genius. And I'm really excited, Haleh, about some of the things that you've been sharing with me around some new initiatives that ProCFO Partners is going to embark on. And I just want to kind of give you the platform. But one of the things that I love is when you laid this out for me, one of the things that we say at ProCFO Partners is every company deserves to have a professional CFO. And I'm going to let that kind of be our launch pad for our conversation today. So welcome back. And what does that statement mean in context of what we're sharing today?
First of all, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I feel the same every time we speak. So every company deserves to work with an expert CFO. And when we started ProCFO Partners, when Nelson and I started ProCFO Partners, we wanted to say, what are we building here? Because the last thing we want to be is a consulting firm, an external advisor, or a placement agency. So we're actually creating a new category here where we believe that the gig economy has moved into the executive suite, and not as a consultant, but actually as an integral member of the leadership team. And in order to be really effective, you have to be an expert. And what it means to be an expert is that you have done this job, been a CFO for 10 plus years, you have seen multiple industries, you have held multiple seats, and that allows you to quickly identify gaps in processes, and therefore you can really have an impact and contribute as a fractional CFO, where someone who is not an expert CFO might take them time to onboard, might take them time to learn the new industry, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, okay. and you're learning it. They are learning at your expense. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna stub their toe. The learning curve may be steep, and that isn't helping you achieve your business goals. So I'm with you.
And then for companies that are $5 million to $50, $75 million, and I've worked in that sector before, really after the first 6 months, you're really making work for yourself full time. Because if you've built that infrastructure and that framework, you're not going to say, well, here's your forecast. Now I'm going to sit at my rate and populate the data.
Interesting.
If you've done your job well, you're passing it on to the next person to do it. And then you're actually looking at revenue or any one of the other spokes on our flywheel. So that's that statement. What does that statement mean to us? Nelson and I want to do and provide access to an expert CFO to as many companies as possible. So when we came up with that name, I was sitting last year thinking, do I mean every company deserves to work with an expert CFO if they can afford it?
Right.
And that's where the idea of the grant was created. So if we really believe that, let's then find a company where we can have a great impact on and actually provide them with access to an expert CFO. And the ProCFO Partners grant program was created.
So the ProCFO Partners grant program was created. So let's talk about that just really high level. That was created in response to this friction that you were feeling on, well, we don't mean everybody who can afford it. We mean every company. So to resolve that, one of the things that you're doing is we're gonna give this to you. Is that right? Tell me about that. What are you giving? Who are you giving it to?
We've created a $50,000 grant program that in the 6 months that we work with them, we complete their annual strategic planning session. Wow. We review and analyze their revenue model. So it includes analysis, metrics, and KPIs to ensure they can achieve it. We look at their cash and funding sources and make sure they have the resources to achieve the first two. We look at their team and we develop their team. We ensure that they have the financial reports and insights they need to inform strategy. And we provide them with access to an expert CFO for 6 months.
I mean, I don't mean to interrupt you. That gets my mind spinning. Okay, so for 6 months, I get the collaboration of an expert who's going to take me from here to there, to the next, right?
Yes, it's going to take them to the next. So what's the impact? We accelerate where they're going. And then, as we do at ProCFO Partners, we build their framework for financial management and growth. And we say that it's systematic, sustainable, and scalable. So as they grow, the framework, the foundation is there. They don't call us back next year or call a consultant and say, oh, I need a new forecast. It's part of their monthly financial reporting. They don't say, I don't know my variable versus fixed costs, or my costs are going up, but I haven't looked at my pricing model. This is actually built as part of their DNA and as part of their financial operations. So we will build that foundation for them.
Who is this for? Like your ideal, who is this for and who is this maybe not for? Is there I don't know what that would mean. Is there some sort of a size or a revenue or a experiential component or a temporal component? You should have been in business for X amount of time, or what? How do you think about it?
Yeah, we think about it. It is for an established company. This is not a startup advisory. We looked at it and said, okay, how can we contribute effectively and not just effectively, but quickly. And so they need to have already an established accounting team, functional or dysfunctional, because we are not bookkeepers or controllers. They need to have some sort of financial information available to them. We're finding that a lot of these companies, we've selected the manufacturing sector to start with, they're still working with Excel spreadsheets. They're still looking at just financial statements and then reviewing variance analysis, which is really old world type of review. There's no insight into that. It's like, okay, we're over budget here, we're under budget there. Well, what are you going to do about it? And the difference between an expert CFO or a pro CFO and other CFOs is we execute. So we don't just come up with the strategy or financial strategy. We also come up with the execution plan to that.
Which is unique, which is tailored. Like part of what I love that you're sharing is, look, we're going to give you a platform, a structure, a strategy that you can follow, but it's not, you're not plug and play. You're going in and you're understanding the organization and their specific needs and their specific challenges, and you are using your expertise to help guide and nurture and cultivate solutions there. Yes? Yes.
So the companies that we're selecting, the CEO and the leadership team have the begin again mindset. They are lifelong learners. They are most likely members of organizations such as Vistage or, YPO or Young Entrepreneurs, or they're lifelong learners. So they seek peer information because they want to continuously improve. They have an accounting department and they have a need. And the need is margins are diminishing, cash is restrained, revenues are shrinking. They have a transaction in mind. They want either a succession plan or an exit plan. They are looking at acquiring companies because they want to grow, and they need to make sure the companies they're acquiring are sound and make sense, not just financially, but in terms of strategically. And so we're looking for companies that are established with a great leadership team.
Talk to me about that. What is that? What does a great leadership team mean? And I mean, obviously, aside from lifelong learner and sort of with this culture of sort of connection and collaboration, but what is a great versus you're too dysfunctional, we wouldn't be able to make that go?
Great leadership team to me means they're engaged. They're still engaged in the success of the company. So you could have a great leader who's created a, I don't know, $300-400 million manufacturing company, and they've checked out. We can't really contribute there. A consultant would do a great job there. You can hire a great exit consultant and say, do an exit plan for me. The way that we participate is, think of it when I said that as a pro CFO, we're an integral member of a leadership team. It needs to be a team we want to work with.
Right.
So it needs to be a team that's engaged, a team that understands the goals, a team that's agile, says, okay, this was our goal, but I'm looking down the line and we're not going to achieve it. How do we then really look at it and be adaptable, right, to what the market conditions are? So that's what I mean by a great team. It's a team we want to work with that's engaged in the organization and taking the organization to the next level.
Is it assumed that I don't have a CFO? Will this work if I do have a CFO, but we would like for that person to have more support or better, I don't know, skills development or something?
No, they could have a CFO. We're finding, especially in the Chicagoland area, which is our first grant, a lot of the CFOs have been with the organization for many, many years. It's that Midwest They've grown with the organization. The organization was small. Maybe it was second generation. They hired a controller who's now their CFO. Well, that CFO may not have M&A experience. That CFO may not have done multiple strategic planning sessions with multiple organizations and know how to build particular goal KPIs and metrics. They know their levers, but they don't know all the levers. They haven't seen a spectrum of it. So there could be a CFO. We're there to support that CFO and a symbiotic relationship to create a broader experience space for them.
I think that's an important point because you don't need to feel a sense of threat if you're a CEO, if you're on this, or a CFO on this executive team or executive board. Haleh just described the situation so perfectly. And I mean, I work with companies all the time where that's exactly the case. When the CFO came on board, we really kind of needed fancy bookkeeping, and now we need strategy. And this person is great, but maybe that's not their sweet spot. So you're not coming in to gut the situation. You're coming in to find ways to support and strategically involve everyone towards a new direction, towards success, towards new definitions of success, even.
A new definition of success, or they could be successful companies that are having a new issue that they haven't addressed before, or an issue that they've been addressing every year. It's like margins are shrinking every year. We can't raise our prices every year. Maybe yes, you can raise your prices every year. Maybe the pricing model needs to change from a one-item pricing to a program pricing. Maybe there is a volume pricing. Maybe there's all these different ways that they may not have looked at creatively. And what I want to share is that many people are going to start saying, we bring strategic insight into your company, but they don't know how to execute on it.
Yeah.
Because they haven't had multiple hats. They haven't been president also, or COO also, or chief revenue officer also. And in our thought collective at ProCFO Partners, we do have that. And that's what we tap into. So you're not just getting the one CFO with this grant, you're getting ProCFO Partners supporting the success of the next chapter of this organization. And the companies may already be extremely successful. This grant will accelerate where they're going. And we believe that.
This is powerful. So can I go to ProCFOPartners.com and kind of explore to learn more, or what steps should I be taking here as I'm super interested in this?
Okay, for Q1, there is a grant page at the ProCFOPartners.com. It's an initial grant. It's a very easy application. I'm interested. Well, our grant team then looks at these companies and selects 5 companies that we believe we can have great impact on. And then we send them, you're one of the finalists, and there's a questionnaire. Why do you need this? And it's a little bit broader. It was really interesting. One of the things that I was looking at is in the Illinois area, what other organizations really support manufacturing and industrial organizations? And I want to name them because they are invaluable. Let me give you the name. It's called VIA. Valley Industrial Association is an incredible organization for manufacturing and industrial companies to become members of. They have a lot of insights and webinars and whatnot. And when I attended one of their sessions a few years ago, another organization was there called IMEC that was actually had $2 million in grants that they wanted to give, and they were doing $50,000 grants with matching. These are great organizations that not only can we make aware of, and maybe many of these manufacturing companies have gone on the website, they don't have that financial lens when they're supporting these organizations. So when they come to our website, we're going to look and see, one of the questions we're going to ask is, what associations have you used? What grants have you used? When you go and apply for these grants, they're telling you what is the scope, who is the team, what do you hope to achieve? We're actually going to answer those for them. So we're going to meet with them because a lot of times they don't know. They just know they need help. They want 50K, And so we're going to say, let me show you what we can achieve with this 50K.
This is really powerful. This is really, really, and it's service-minded. And we've talked before in the podcast and outside of the podcast about the benefits of that. And sort of this sense of compassion and purpose in business. And I love when organizations dog food when they eat their own cooking. And I love that ProCFO Partners is doing something like this. I think this is really exciting. And I encourage everybody, all of our listeners and watchers and everybody to pass this on. If you're not in this space, in the manufacturing space, or get involved, hit the website and see if this is the right opportunity for you.
Thank you so much, Chris. We're really excited. The CFOs are excited. We're really excited. And we've done it hundreds of times now in the last few years. So we're excited to do this. Every company deserves to work with an expert CFO.
I have no better way to end this conversation than that. Thank you, Haleh. You're the best.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to our subscribers. Consider becoming one today. Visit ProCFOPartners.com for more strategies and ideas for financial management and growth to help you put your business's financial picture in context.